hello, and welcome. I am Arindam. We have been so eagerly waiting for this day, and finally it's here. So very excited to get this going. Hey,
Hey,
Kunal,
hi,
thank you
Kunal.
so much for joining in and kind of really sharing your words of wisdom with this crowd. Just to get things started, Kunal, one of the questions which I'm guessing a lot of people might be thinking about is what was Kunal doing when he was our age?
I I joined a startup when I was 21, and I was a problematic employee. I told the founder that this is a stupid idea; it will not work. I asked them to work on a side project. That side project became a business by itself and became the startup. So the original idea was shut down,
Hmm.
and I became CEO of that startup at 23. I joined probably an MBA school 24, 25 to see if I should learn how to be smart. Then I dropped out in 1 or 2 semesters. But I have been working from the age 15. So I already had many years of work experience. My first job was of a data entry operator at a wholesale store. I was working a lot harder than what I see most people at 21 to 25 are doing in life. I had insane amount of curiosity, and I would raise my hand for every single project that was thrown at me,
Right.
and not optimize for anything else. And I believe that my young age was a place to learn a lot, and the more things that are thrown at me.
Amazing. No, amazing to hear that, Kunal. So, and since you talked about learning, right, and really focusing on that, what's your approach been, and how's that changed with time? How do you even go about learning?
I don't know. I just have immense amount of curiosity, which I've fortunately not killed in my life, because I was not very good at studies. The standard studies. I was good at understanding topics. I was not good at scoring marks. I couldn't remember long answers, so I never scored well in any exams. But I was good at understanding things, so I used to score very well on vivas and practicals and all of that stuff. I used to be very, very good at. Even in the MBA school I was there, I refused to sit for the written exam because I had scored full marks in all my presentations nearly, which was more than the passing marks anyway. So I didn't want to sit for the written exam. So they thought I was a painful guy to have in class. I like to understand things. I like to deeply understand things. I like to understand why are certain things the way they are, and why are certain businesses the way they are. Most people just don't seem to be curious. I don't know why. I think when they were curious as a child, their parents maybe made a comment saying that agar itna dimag padhai mein lagaoge to you will get full marks, and they probably stop being curious. So my thing is, I'm curious about everything. I'm curious about randomest of things. I track how all different businesses work, all startups work. I'm curious about uh, random things in physics, random things in evolutionary biology. I'm interested in philosophy. I'm interested in macroeconomics, stats. I have massive FOMO for not knowing something or not understanding something.
Since you talked about this curiosity and you're gathering so much knowledge by going deeper to understand these things, but at the same time, you're also building products, you're also building businesses. How do you translate that, right? Because you talked about so many different pieces. Like, what's your approach towards building products and business?
I think just having strong understanding of why people pay in form of time, money, or attention. There are three currencies that people give you, right?
Yeah.
If you deeply understand why do people give you money, time, or attention, and deeply know, not just per se. Like, for example, TikTok, we'll say, oh, people enjoy themselves. And that's not the answer. You deeply know why people give their time to it. Why do certain type of people give more time to Instagram versus everybody else? Why do women give more time to Instagram than men? And to deeply understand that and not stop at one answer. My biggest learning has been that you have to find the deeper truth. And I think finding deeper truth is not a thing for us. Like when we had opportunity to do research projects in our college, we just copy pasted from other people to just get marks. So we never learned that skill. We don't really understand anything deeply. And we have a unique curse of jumping to conclusions. And that is the number one thing I think most product managers, if they have to succeed, have to learn to not play that sport. 90% diagnosis, 10% prescription. And let me explain what I mean by that. Most product managers love to ship features, not solve problems. Question is, how do you diagnose really well? Nobody does that. Jaldi se jumping to conclusion.
I'm just feeling, Kunal, ki you've covered the gist of it that we were trying to get to, that go deeper into the problem before jumping on to conclusions. You've said it in kind of a much better way than we could have. The next question, CRED has been kind of building out the product team. As you're going about adding product managers, what all are those skills or traits that you're looking for? You talked about curiosity. You talked about going deeper to understand those problems and not jumping to conclusions. Is there anything else that you guys look for?
I don't know, man. I have not figured it out. I'm figuring it out. I wish I knew. I just know that non-curious people are terrible PMs. Consistently proven, no matter what their academics were, no matter what their qualifications or past experience was, consistently non-curious people have failed to be great PMs. And you can't fake curiosity. That's the best part. I've also seen curious people be terrible PM because they just don't want to act. They just keep thinking. So I think insanely curious people who want to be right a lot and have a deep need to be right a lot by proving it, by demonstrating. They have a need to demonstrate that they were right. We've tried to hire a bunch of first-time PMs and I've had limited success on that, I would say. We are still work in progress on that. I wish we do much better on that.
That makes sense. Absolutely. That's been fascinating, Kunal. So thank you. But any tips or advice for people who are just starting off their professional career, Kunal? What are the top things that you would really tell them to focus on? You talked about a few things, definitely, starting from curiosity. But any other things that you would want to kind of pass on as tips?
Human beings are constantly looking for efficiency to achieve higher social status, higher mating success, or higher progeny protection. Anything that makes them save energy, time, money to achieve more energy, time, money and propagate their genes, they will come to your product. And if you understand that basic principle deeply, then you will know if you're making an impactful product or not. I think every time a company has a clear strategy, and strategy is usually central in nature, you can give independence to people. When companies do not have central clear strategy, everybody goes in round in motion and cancels each other out. So I think aligning people to one single place, to a common mission and a promised land that this is where we will land up, then everybody starts knowing that they're moving in and drifting in that direction. And they need to make sense that what is the connection between this product and that product and how does it help each other, right? Unless they can see the connections, they see the elephant in different ways, right? So you have to kind of constantly do a good job of explaining. Most PMs, the PMs who succeed the most are also the ones who can explain the business impact to engineers. And engineers love to work on problems which will actually make an impact versus just solve product managers' curiosity. So I think all the PMs who can get the respect of engineers, because ultimately I can raise as much capital as I want, I can't hire 500 engineers. That's the reality. So if I'm going to have restriction of hiring quality engineers, then you have to be limited in choosing what you're doing. And unless it's a centrally aligned strategy, people will keep making mistakes. I like to be right a lot in my judgment. So I measure with that have I become better at my judgment in life.
Fantastic. Well, it's been amazing as always talking to you, Kunal, and thank you so much once again, Kunal.
Take care. Bye.
So my first goal really was, when I was hiring, right? it was very clear to me that one, I needed product managers, people who had good kind of, just first principles. When I say first principles, right?